From the looks of the bags of bass coming into the Day 2 weigh-in of the Bassmaster New York Invitational, calm weather conditions have helped. The bassers venturing to Lake Ontario were able to reach their spots, as evident by the numbers of smallmouth bass being checked in. Biggest bag of the day and the tournament, 16 pounds, weighed in by Tom Mann Jr. of Georgia. He jumps from 36th place into strong contention for the $35,000 top payoff. However, Kevin VANDAM, with a 5 bass limit and 13 pounds 11 ounces, temporarily moves on top with a 3-ounce lead. But Davy HITE of South Carolina charges from 28th place with a 15-pound 15-ounce creel of smallmouth. HITE anchors his big string with a 4-pound 8-ounce smallie and a 2-day score of 26 pounds 8 ounces. However, Clark Wendelin of College Station, Texas, pulls ahead of the pack with 27 pounds 3 ounces. Another solid 5 bass limit of 15 pounds 4 ounces lifts Clark from 12th place into the lead, but not by much, only 11 ounces.
You're averaging 3 pounds today on smallmouth. Can you do it tomorrow?
I don't know. It's a little bit tougher on me today. I didn't get as many bites. The bites ended up being a little bit bigger, but just go out and struggle with it again tomorrow and hope I can get the bigger bites.
The final round, Day 3, a howling wind, 20 to 30 miles per hour. Tournament leader Clark Wendelin's got his wish, but the south-southwest direction is going to mean trouble. Clark's fishing a shallow 3 to 6 foot deep rocky flat behind Horse Island at the mouth of the Black River, and the full force of the strong winds builds big waves from Lake Ontario.
This is just a big grass flat. Really, it doesn't really have very much grass on it. It's basically got some little clumps that have some small boulders mixed with grass in it, and the rest of it looks like just one big rock. I don't know if it's rock or sand, but it's kind of a bright green color, and the rest of it's a dark color. What you want to cast at's a dark color, and those smallmouth just seem to come off these little spots. I'm throwing about a 1/2 ounce bulldog spinnerbait. It's got a clear skirt and a trailer hook, and I've caught quite a few of the fish I've caught on the trailer hook. The water's so clear, they know they want it, but they get up close to it, and I guess they shy away a little bit, and they just swipe at it. So the trailer hooks help a bunch.
Over in Shawmo Bay, Davy HITE is jerking a Norman's Rippin' Rick suspending plug. This is similar to other sinking jerkbaits being fished for smallmouth in the tournament. But with this lure, Davy adds water to make it suspend at various depths. Today, the added water makes it easier to cast in the wind. Now, watch what happens. A smallmouth follows the lure out of a clump of grass, but then turns away. Davy sees the bass and makes a quick lure change. His other rod is rigged with a smoke-colored grub. Bingo! The quick reaction with a smaller lure triggered the bite. Davy's quick thinking pays off. But an interesting sidebar to the catch is that tournament leader Clark Wendelin tipped him off to the 1-2 lure punch.
You know, yesterday when it was calm, you could throw a grub back and catch them, but you can't keep up with them now. Some of them I just follow. I'd get a bite and see the fish go back down and start throwing back at him and take 5, 6, 7 casts and finally they'd bite it.
Trying to fish and control the boat in these conditions is almost impossible. But Kevin VANDAM uses a canvas sea anchor or drift sock that's a handy accessory for any bass boat.
Boat control was real difficult in this tournament, and one of the things that really helped me out a lot was this sea anchor. All it is it's a big parachute type deal that has a big opening on one end and a real small opening on the other, and it forces the water through that small hole, and it really slows down your boat. What you need to do, though, is use a swivel on the rope that you tie it to, because this will spin to keep it from twisting. And I just clip it on my back here, and then I just wrap the rope around this one cleat. And what that does by putting it on that side cleat is it tilts the boat at an angle as you make your drift, and it helps so both people in the boat can make good casts to the structure. If I want it tilted the other way, I just put it on the other side. It'll really help you out a lot when it's real windy to work the structure.
Kevin's got another ace up his sleeve. He's not depending on seeing the underwater rock piles and targets. In practice, VANDAM pinpointed the structure and recorded the exact locations in his Lowrance Global Map 2000 GPS system. He can find his fishing spots with the GPS unit in the windswept bay without landmarks or the need to line up the objects on the shoreline.
And with my GPS, it'd get me right on top of those spots every time. And that's all I did, is I made short little drifts out there in the wind over these little 50-yard areas. And without that GPS, I could have never done it. You know, every time I'd get done with the drift, I'd pull back up there to my waypoint and drift right back down through the same exact little spot each time. And I caught those fish just out of those little areas where everybody else was just drifting across the whole flat and really not knowing where they were throwing. I knew exactly where every single spot that I was going to fish was at.
Stay tuned. The Bassmasters are coming right back with the final New York Invitational weigh-in and the champion's pros pointer on spinnerbait fishing for smallmouth bass. Now it's time for Bass Mail, where you send in questions for the pros. Jerry Dixon from Tulsa, Oklahoma asks Arkansas pro Ron Shuffield, what can I do to prevent short strikes on smaller spinnerbaits?
Jerry, let me give you a small tip that'll help you out. I take a little bitty trailer hook and insert onto the spinnerbait main hook to start with, and take a little section of rubber band and just poke a hole through it and run it right on down onto your main hook so it holds the trailer hook on like so. Just because you have to downsize your spinnerbait doesn't mean that you can't downsize your trailer hook also. Jerry, if you'll try this, I think it'll help you catch a lot more fish.
Send your bassin questions to Bass Mail, Post Office Box 140430, Dallas, Texas 75214.